future of the driving experience is, it covers a number of strands. The first is to try and automate as much as we can that offers genuine customer benefits. By that I mean, if we take autonomous vehicles, my personal view is that autonomy will happen in stages. So if we can automate features that will offer driver benefits, and when we talk about autonomous vehicles and driving experience, at the moment you would have to look at the two ends of the spectrum. The first spectrum is about slow speed autonomy. So the typical things and typical technologies that you now start to see being deployed are self-parking cars. Self-parking cars are principally there to take pain points away from drivers and to improve driver convenience. You know, we can control a car to get into a tight space, I would say, using electronic means and software means, more repeatable, more consistent than a driver can. And we can do it quickly, we can do it efficiently, we can do it effectively. And those drivers that are uncomfortable with doing those sorts of maneuvers, we can help them. So when you look at slow speed, today, most slow speed features are what we would call semi-autonomous. So the driving experience is such that you actually take your hands off the wheel, you relinquish lateral control, but you actually keep your feet on the pedals and you maintain longitudinal control. As we move forward with technology development, what you'll start to see is not only the driver relinquishing lateral control, but he will also start to take his feet off the pedals and relinquish longitudinal control. You'll also start to see other features develop in slow speed autonomy. For example, traffic jam assistance, where you're just nudging forward 2 or 3 meters at a time. Again, there's nothing to stop other than regulations. There's nothing to stop technically this from being done through the sensors, the hardware, the software. And again, it's about allowing the driver to relinquish both lateral and longitudinal control. At the high speed end, it's a very different story. At the high speed end, today, it's the reverse. Drivers actually relinquish longitudinal control. So cruise control is a semi-autonomous feature. Drivers take their feet off the pedals. And what you'll see there is technology will be developed where drivers can start to relinquish lateral control. So an example would be where lateral control will be intervened with. So for example, if I'm on a highway and I want to pull out to overtake a vehicle, if there is a vehicle in the blind spot, today I would get a warning that the vehicle is in the blind spot. But if I didn't see that warning and I carried on, there would be a collision. Looking forward to the future, if we actually take lateral control as well as the longitudinal control, we can actually take control of the steering wheel to prevent the driver from pulling out and pull the driver back in. And as we develop these technologies, we actually identify new challenges. And the challenges actually come back to the question you asked, which is driving experience. Certainly in some of the early work we've done, customers don't like something taking control away from them, even though in this case it's for their own safety. So it's back to the driving experience. So for us, it's about blending the technology and the driving experience. So I think in terms of the autonomous car, yes, technically it's possible. I think there are 3 big challenges: getting the technology to be cost effective, gaining public acceptance that they're happy to relinquish control, and the third one, and probably the most difficult, is the regulatory constraints that exist. But basically you'll see slow speed, high speed and the emerging. But I personally think it will happen, but not for a number of years yet.